You know, it's weird the way the universes are aligning. I was just watching a video of the great Mark Puttenvink beating up Dummy Bob.
Yeah.
Do we call him Dummy Bob, or is that's not fair
You
to
know,
Bob?
Bob's an acronym. I forget what it's for, but it stands for something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember what it was.
Bob.
Yeah.
Great big boxing.
I don't know. Yeah, I gotta double research that.
We should make something up. Bring
your own Bob. Bring your own battle. I don't know. But
It's great Mark Puttenvink, everybody. Patriot Training Systems. He trains aliens. He trains former White House perspective. Like he's going to be training Kamala Harris. Yeah, she's going to have to fight off all the creditors now. She spent $1.6 billion on a campaign. Still owes $20 million.
Yeah, she's going to fix the economy.
It is actually very funny when if you don't get too serious, if you just watch all the stuff going on, it's very. I mean, I had no idea they spent like $1.6 billion on a campaign.
They spent you got to pay Beyonce, you got to pay J-Lo, and all those people. God, it's crazy, man.
Very entertaining. How was your weekend? Watched some great football yesterday. The Jets and Giants.
I mean, at least the Giants.
Yeah.
It seems like I don't know.
And I've tried so hard to be a Daniel Jones fan, but I just physically he's incredible. I just don't know if he's got that makeup to be a leader.
By the way, the receiver the Jets just traded to Pittsburgh.
What?
Oh, he had a great game yesterday and they won.
Oh, that kid, that Wilson kid, the receiver. Yeah, he scored the winning touchdown. Yeah. So, here's our buddy, the veteran. Actually, I'm glad he chimed in here. Happy Veterans Day. Do we say Happy Veterans Day? Is that appropriate?
Yeah. So the difference, Veterans Day is for veterans. Memorial Day is a more somber day.
Right. So veterans, it isn't necessarily somebody that we lost in war. It's people that served the country.
It's thank you for your service.
Very cool. Actually, I'm going to a military appreciation night tomorrow at the Garden. They're playing the Winnipeg Jets, so I'll be at that event.
Yeah, they did it last night in New Jersey, and the Warriors played.
Oh, did they?
They played in between periods. They moved the nets out. And,
So you're not as deeply involved in that as you had been in the past, right?
No, it just got to be where I just didn't. I mean, I started, 6 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And I couldn't dedicate the amount of time required to it. So
that is the thing, right? You love those things. You love being a part of it. But if you're going to do it properly, you've got to make sure that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of what I did. It's up and running and doing great stuff. And Ted Curtin's running the program for them now. He's going to do a great job. And it's just really fulfilling for those guys. I mean, can you imagine being just a rec player and you're playing on a big sheet in front of all the people? And they were cheering because, it's fun to watch.
It's funny, those guys too. I know this. They're great guys and they're warriors. They've been to battle. When they get out in front of people, they're kind of shy, right? Kind of nervous. It's kind of funny, yeah.
But they got to dress in the room. Obviously not in the room, but and probably in where I think New Jersey, their old locker room is still there. I think Seton Hall, the basketball program, uses it.
Oh, huh?
Yeah, because they built. But whatever. Yes, it was a great night. It was a great night for the vets. Kevin Fox over there, who's a young man I've known since he was a little guy, coached him in college, but. He does like the alumni stuff and all the learn to play and everything like that. And he does a really good job.
Very cool. Very cool. Are you a Yellowstone fan? The show?
No, we talked about it last night.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
They're so far into it. I'm a Tulsa King, and last night it got really cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So last night was the opening of the new season of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Going to tell you, it's kind of dramatic. So Kevin Costner, who had been like John Dutton, the head of the show, head of the ranch, he wanted to move on. He said he wanted to do other artistic things. So it was the first show without him there. And right off the bat, he dies in the start of the show. So I didn't realize, I really wasn't into the first couple of seasons. I watched highlights of it and everything, but I've really gotten into it more now. And it's really a soap opera. It's pretty deep the way they get going.
Well, the guy Taylor Sheridan, I mean, he's the one that did Tulsa King. He's like really hot now, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is he the one that's got going? He's got the Billy Bob Thornton in some show too.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's pretty on a good roll right now. That's for sure.
Yeah,
good for him.
The Bears are horrible. Yeah, well, see, the thing with the Bears is it's a future for them, right? They got that young quarterback and the guy that paints his fingernail.
Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know what to say.
I know.
I think his longest completion yesterday was 15 yards.
There's part of me that, excuse me, there's part of me that really respects him because he takes a stand. He's not going to be like everybody else. He believes all these other things, he's on Jeopardy and all that stuff. And I admire that. But then you better if you're going to do all that, then, and you're going to get the guys you want, get rid of guys you don't want.
Yeah,
you better perform, right?
I'm not big on guys getting coaches fired. That kind of crosses the line for me.
I know.
I'm not cool with that at all.
Yeah, and once you do it, like that's the thing. And I was very fortunate to play with Wayne Gretzky there in LA, and he went so far out of his way to make sure that he did not get involved in that stuff. Mm-hmm. Because, in fact, there's the great story when him and Robbie Vittori got into it, and Bruce. I think this is the way it went. Bruce McNall stepped in. And the owner had said, okay, I'm going to fire him. And Wayne said, no, you cannot fire him because then it'll look like you got fired because of me. So, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that crosses a line to where, and you better go out and win it.
Yeah.
You better win it all.
Yeah.
If you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he hasn't. And the problem is, I don't know if he recognizes it or not, but the rest of the guys he's a Hall of Famer. So the rest of the guys are just going to defer to him. Right. Okay, this is if he can't do it, then we can't do it, right? So,
right, yeah. And he got that guy fired. Then he said, I need this receiver, and they got him.
Yeah.
And it reaches a point where that was really pitiful. 6 points.
Oh, at least the Giants. I know they're playing a terrible team, but at least they somewhat competed, right? I mean, they tried, but
yeah, I mean, and then Sauce Gardner missing tackles.
I know. Ooh.
I mean, what's he weigh? Like 140 pounds, that kid?
No.
I don't even know how he could tackle
I know, but geez, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with the Giants. Both the Jets and Giants defense, like they say, well, you've heard this term. They're making business decisions now, so they're not going to do anything to get themselves hurt because teams lose anyways.
Well, but you can't play that way because that's when you do get hurt.
Yeah.
You see, Tom Wilson hit. I was watching this morning, so the puck's rimming around in his end, and the kid Josh Anderson goes to pinch, and Wilson hit him. It was clean. I mean, completely clean hit.
Oh.
And poof, it was a yard sale. Yeah.
I think that's subject to. We want to talk about a little bit more hitting because they don't know how to hit now or get hit.
Because they don't allow the kids to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys see who Trump appointed as borders are? Yes, that young woman, right?
No. The woman is chief of staff.
Oh, no.
And,
okay.
Didn't he bring in Tom Holman, who was the previous?
Okay. Yeah. But he also supported another woman for something, too. The chief of staff was that older woman.
Beth went to high school with her. She was 2 years ahead of Beth.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, she's from Jersey. Yeah. Well, you know who it is. It's Pat. Remember Pat Summerall? It's his daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Now, as I'm seeing her, too, you can see kind of they have that resemblance. I'm thinking about. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. See, there's another fact. How many people in the universe knew that was Pat Summerall's daughter?
A lot of people.
No.
It was pretty widely publicized.
Okay, here's another one, too, I get a kick out. So the woman down in Florida, the head of FEMA, so she sends out a memo. It's in writing, too, saying don't go help the people with Trump signs.
And then trying to figure out why they lost.
The what?
And it's sitting back on, how did we lose that election?
Oh, I know. But here's the thing, too.
Okay,
so
it's called half of the United States garbage.
Oh, I know. So she does that. Now, in most places I've seen, most outlets, they've named her who she is. There's pictures of her in the Post. Now, ABC News this morning, they talked about the story, but say she has not been named.
I mean, these legacy media, CBS, NBC, ABC, they're pathetic. They're really pathetic.
Legacy media. Why do you?
Because they're the first original three before the CNNs and all the rest of them. Yeah. And that warm and fuzzy woman Dana Bash yesterday, she had Jim Jordan on, and she's trying to pin him because they have nothing really to go on right now because they got it handed to them.
Right.
And she's saying, well, kind of funny how Trump wins and nobody's complaining about election interference.
Right.
And Jordan kind of, I thought he had an opportunity was missed where he would have said, well, where'd the 15 million votes that went to Joe Biden go? The guy got 81 million votes. First time ever. Everybody's always averaged about between 63 and 65 million to win. Where'd those votes go? And and I would have called her out. I would have said, really, that's what you want to talk about?
I know. How about they had a woman on, an Asian woman, very attractive woman on NBC or something. She was a fundraiser for Biden and for Harris.
Oh, they're not happy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, did you see that interview?
Yeah.
She said, "Well, what? I mean, they told us that that all these numbers, and she really brought up the point. She thought that Biden. Hi, Beth.
Tom said hi, Mom.
She brought up the point that she thought, "Hey there, gorgeous, how are you?" She brought up a point that she thought it was Biden was kind of saying, "F you. You want to get rid of me? Then I'll."
There's a lot. I think there's a lot of truth to that because when he was told you're stepping aside on no uncertain terms. And I think my guess is that they used his legacy to leverage him, saying, "Listen, you don't want to go burn it down. Look like we're going to say you're doing it for the country. You're a big man. You're going to step aside." And then 20 minutes later, he endorses Kamala Harris. So right away, now they can't do anything during a convention to have some kind of caucus to put somebody else up to run. And they were stuck with her. And he knew she was unelectable.
Excuse
or
me.
At least thought.
Yeah, I thought you and I talked about it too. Like my belief is they knew all along they wanted to get rid of Biden. They didn't want him running against Trump. So they made it sound like, oh, he's healthy, he's fine. Although everybody else in the world is watching him up on stage and speaking. It's like you feel bad. We've talked about this before. You feel bad for the guy. And then all of a sudden they have him set up. They set him up with that debate with Trump where there's just, I mean, they knew he was going to look terrible. Yeah. So.
They have no one to blame but themselves. I mean, you can't have an assassination attempt. Say you got to tone down the rhetoric. And less than a month later, you call a guy Hitler. There's
a funny video I saw too where Schumer, Charles Schumer, what's he, the senator from New York?
Well, he's senator. That's long-term senator from New York.
So he's up making his speech, and Kamala Harris is somebody else who are in the background. Mm-hmm. Well, Kamala and the other person are kind of giggling, and Schumer turns around to her and kind of like scolds her, like he's pointing out, like stop, and she makes the face like like oh god, like it's like it was almost like it was very funny.
I was on a flight, 20 some odd years ago when he was on it. He's like 6'6". He's a really big dude.
Schumer?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, they're in total disarray.
What's that? Sorry, guys, have a great day. I'm at the local VFW having a beer. All right, brother.
There you go, William.
Have a great day.
Veterans Day.
All right. Yes.
But they really, I mean, if you look at the three past candidates they put up, Hillary, Joe, and now Kamala, they're not really, I'll be gentle here. They're not very strong candidates. Well,
well, here's another question. If Trump was not there, who would the Republicans have that would be?
Well, you would have to think it's Marco Rubio, DeSantis, one of those guys. Yeah.
DeSantis is the governor of Florida, right? That's
Florida. Yeah.
I like that guy. I like the way he handles himself. Yeah.
He's a little polarizing. Listen, anybody the Republicans put up at this point to the media and to the Democrats can be polarizing. They're going to try to.
Right. But it's not like you look at Trump. I mean, Trump is the definition of polarizing, right? He is the most polarizing.
Yeah, and the problem for him that I think we all recognize is that he's a disruptor. He's not.
Trump is?
He's a disruptor. So in other words, he's not going to go along with this deep state. Just keep going to war, making gobs of money for people. We send our kids off to get maimed and killed. I mean, that's another thing to talk about. That is very rarely spoken. And Liz Cheney was a prime example of it. Her father was a war hawk. He was a neocon, and he started a war. And Halliburton made tons of money. So you get you have to say at some point things have to change because.
Okay, but that's a good point. So I'm a believer, and I won't speak for you, but I think you're the same way in the deep state. So there's these BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, all those Rockefellers. There's about 50 to 100 wealthy families, wealthy companies that really run everything. They make all the donations to campaigns. They own the vast majority of shares in fast food companies, pharmaceutical companies. So the theory is that Donald Trump doesn't have to kowtow to them because he has his own money. But I mean, I know he has his own money. He's in the billions, but these people are talking about trillions of dollars. Yeah. So does he, I mean, there still has to be some, and I've heard stories where he's buddies with Larry Fink, who's the CEO of BlackRock.
The old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
And he does that with Putin and
So I have a much different opinion of him now the second time around.
Right.
based. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think if somebody tried to take my head off and hit me in the ear, I'm not teeing off at 8 o'clock the next morning, and he did.
I know.
And I kind of think, well, he's different then. I mean,
I just and I hear you too. Now here's the pessimist in me, the conspiracy theorist. How much is he in on it with everybody else?
Absolutely. Oh, in terms of, I don't think he is, and I think that's why they're trying to kill him, because they tried to impeach him twice on really nothing. 94 indictments, convictions, try to kill him twice at every turn. Russia. Remember that whole thing with Robert Mueller, the big Mueller report, the walls closing on Trump. And he's, to your point, a very wealthy guy. At some point, most people go, I really don't need to be doing this. I'd rather be down in Mar-a-Lago on the beach with arguably one of the most beautiful women to ever grace the planet. And they tried to kill me.
Right.
So to me, and then, the people that he's brought in from the other side, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, Elon Musk, she brought in Cardi B.
I know.
They got to get over that celebrity elite, San Francisco, Hollywood, New York.
But okay,
Robert De Niro,
but Trump though. Okay, so again, I'll be the pessimist. You be the supporter. Yeah. So I'm saying, to your point, why is he doing it then? He's not going to benefit. Well, I guess in the long term, he could still benefit financially, right? I mean, he's even more popular now.
What's he need?
Right. But it is quite the thing, right? Because you look at Elon Musk, for example. Mm-hmm. I mean, he doesn't need anybody's money.
No.
And somehow I guess Elon Musk really believes in Donald Trump, so he's pulled Elon Musk in to be a huge part. Because wasn't he the Zelensky from Ukraine? Wasn't he part of the call there with Trump and Zelensky?
Yeah. So here, my thinking now is that we have grown because of history so resilient to the thought that there might be somebody out there that really cares about this country and really could be patriotic.
And we've grown
resilient to that thought because we've seen over a period of time. I mean, and you look at Mitch McConnell, he's a Republican. He's been there since dirt was invented, right? Yep. And his wife is a Chinese national.
Oh.
Her family is the largest military shipbuilder in China with direct ties to the Communist Party.
Oh, wow.
When they got married, they got a $25 million gift from her family.
Oh.
I got 301 card. I was like ecstatic.
You kidding me? I didn't get any money for getting married. Hold on, that's a thing? You can actually get money for getting married?
If you marry a Chinese communist, yeah, and you're very influential in politics.
Why didn't you tell me this stuff when I was like 22 years old?
Yeah. But so my point is that we see all this and you sit back and you go, who's really for me? When Pelosi's they're all making, I'm going to pick on them, but they're all making gobs of money on insider trading. You do it, you go to jail. I do it, I go to jail.
Yeah.
Them, they're immune to it, and again, I'm going to pick on Republicans because they're just as guilty of it.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani, when the Sackler family was sued, now Sackler owns Purdue Pharma. They're the ones that manufactured, distributed, and lied to the general public about OxyContin, saying it was non-addictive, and flooded middle America with it.
Right.
Responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths.
Yep.
Directly tied back to them. When they were sued by the state of Kentucky, guess who represented the Sackler family? Rudy Giuliani.
Right.
So my point is that it's Democrats, it's Republicans, it is the entrenched, as much as he claims to be a Trump guy or this and that, it's a little too late in my book. Once I found that out about him, I lost all respect for him.
Who's this now?
Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, Rudy. Okay, yeah.
I mean, he took big money from Big Pharma when he knows they were not innocent.
Okay, but they're all doing that though.
Of course,
right?
Except one man, and he's bringing in other people. Elon Musk isn't a politician, right?
So you're saying Trump is not benefiting financially?
He doesn't need to. you know, and this is the first time in American history that we've had somebody of that wealth come in, not motivated in any part by, I mean, they're all narcissists. I mean, because if you're not a politician.
All right. So so here's one of the big topics. Every time the election comes up whenever I can remember, there's always the discussion we're going to increase the taxes of the billionaires, right? That's the common thing. Everybody wants to hear that.
God, you think everybody.
Trump sent it well to Hillary Clinton and said, no, you're not going to do that because those billionaires are the ones that are financing your campaigns. Now, the problem with him is he is one of those billionaires. Mm-hmm. So obviously he's not going to increase the taxes on himself. But let's say he was exempt from that. Mm-hmm. Would he raise the taxes on his other billionaire buddies?
I mean, there's so much focus on that. I mean, listen, when you're a billionaire and say you're worth $3 billion and your taxes last year were, I don't know, whatever, $50 million. Right. And now they raise the tax to $60 million. Do you feel it?
Right.
and this is a misnomer too. 40% of all revenue, federal tax, is the top 1% earners. 40%.
And they say that only 50% of all citizens actually pay taxes.
How about this? Here's a novel thought. Instead of raising taxes, why don't we start to find out ways to stop spending gobs of money on, I don't know, shrimps on a treadmill study.
Right. Or $1.6 billion on a campaign.
Yeah. I mean, so it's not that they don't tax us enough, because every time we turn around, we're being taxed. It's that they spend money irresponsibly and have done to the tune of $36 trillion in debt.
And that's a great point. So there's really it appears to be very limited government oversight. So the woman down in Florida with FEMA saying, don't go to Trump, places with Trump signs. Yeah. The peanut people that go, they spend their time and money going and grabbing
this. That was $80,000 it cost.
Right. So they grab a squirrel and kill a squirrel.
For $80,000.
It's a common theme where there's nobody watching over those people to say, no, you need to report to me first. Write me a report. Why are you spending this money? Right. I mean, that kind of thing, like any other successful business, they run a business that way, where if you want to go spend money, tell me why you want to spend that money.
There's still federal monies sitting out there that were for COVID response.
Oh,
that's still sitting out there.
Yeah.
And, part of my fear is it's so far gone now. Trump, I don't care who it is going to be able to do much about it. That's my fear. But even if we can incrementally start the process, and one of the things that Trump's talking about is term limits. And I really think it's needed. Now, there's always a thing, well, what if he's really good and the people really like he or she? Okay, so he or she served, say, 6 years in the Senate, you're done, you're out. But the next time around, you can go back in.
Right.
I mean, that's like a little bit of a.
So here's my theory. This is a wide-ranging thing. Mm-hmm. So, what is the average senator or congressman? What do they make? Is it $250 or something like that?
No, not even. It's about 180 grand.
Right. So the theory is like a Nancy Pelosi, for instance. Mm-hmm. She makes her 150, stays in politics for 50 years, and ends up being worth billions of dollars, making $150,000 a year. It's just not doable, right? So obviously we know she's doing insider trading, all these other things. So what we should do is say, okay, we're going to pay you, $500,000 a year. Yeah. And you're going to get a pension for the rest of your life of another $250,000 a year, even if you're not in office, you've served. But the caveat is that you cannot do insider trading, right? You can't do all these extra things. And if you get caught, if you're making decisions that you now profit from afterwards, like if you give some government some pass, whatever, now they're paying you off, then you're going to jail, whatever the system is in place. So the only source of income is what we're paying you, the U.S. citizens. You can't make all this extra money, right?
Well, how about we just get back to the simple notion? Here's your salary. That's it. And there's no special perks.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why we've grown accustomed to accepting that politicians have to become wealthy people.
Well, but that's right. Well, the only people that believe that are the politicians.
Correct. Yeah. Right. And many before us have talked about this. And, Eisenhower even talked about the military-industrial complex. And listen, there's a group of people in this country, when we go to war, they love it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to make
Yeah.
So, you know, the Raytheons and all the defense contractors. I saw a video a while back. They showed different weapon systems, like, you know, like a 30 mil on a ship and this and that. And as it's spitting out, the dollars are rolling by.
Oh,
And you know, it's amazing. And like a cruise missile, $3 million a pop.
yeah.
So when we send off in the Middle East to, you know, a couple, whatever the number is, of cruise missiles and other ordnance, there's people at home and they're hearing the cash register go.
Right.
And what was the one thing under Trump's first administration, we weren't.
No worries. Yeah.
And let me just say this before I forget.
You don't forget. You don't forget ever.
But there's actually an article in the paper today. Probably a lot of people heard. It was Michigan or Minnesota. A guy killed his whole family and committed suicide because he really was in such fear that Trump was going to do this, that, and the other thing.
Oh,
yeah. And there was an article in the paper that therapists in New York City, they're like their phones are ringing off the hook. You have to say, well, look, guys, the guy was president for 4 years prior to this. Nobody was thrown in prison. Nobody's lost their rights to anything.
Yeah. How about the women? There's two different things to women. First one is they're saying, group of women saying, I'm not going to have sex with men anymore because of what they're doing. So men are going, it's terrible.
Well,
and then there's another one. The second one is women have this movement. I don't think they're actually doing it, but they're fantasizing about poisoning men.
Yeah.
Do you see this?
So again, this is furthering the narrative of this thought that it's okay. I mean, these are outlandish thoughts to put out in the public. Really, when you think about it. I mean, there's a woman who said, I'm really considering not having children because Trump's president and his country's going to turn into this, you know, regime that's so punitive. Right. But again, this is what happens when ABC, NBC, CNN all stand up and you have Pelosi and the rest of them calling a guy Hitler. You want to say you don't agree with his policies, or you want to say he's a disgusting human being, he's a misogynist, I'll give you that. But when you start calling a former president of the United States Hitler, you really crossed the line.
But getting back to this women though, the women thing, is it really that outrageous? A lot of married women are doing that anyways. They're saying as soon as they get married, they're saying, I'm not having sex with that guy.
Well, I won't speak to that, but I think again, what we're seeing is a small percentage of population. There's like 6 women that are probably living in the Upper West Side that are all jacked up about it. Yeah. And it's insanity. I mean, you know, you have the part of this is all about unity and joy, and all they do is propagate division.
Right. But I want to meet these women, though. They're saying they don't want to have sex with men.
Well, they're shaving their heads, too. So they don't look attractive. Yeah.
I kind of like bald women. You ever been attracted to a woman that's bald? I know you're a Beth there, so nobody's more attractive than her. But I mean,
it wouldn't be a deal breaker. I mean, I don't know. It may be a look someday.
Yeah, you know? There was.
Sinead O'Connor, I thought was a pretty attractive woman back in the day.
Wasn't there some black model that was?
Oh yeah, very attractive.
She was hot. Yeah. Yeah, something about that whole hair thing. You have to wait for them as long, like they get ready.
Good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
But you think we saw this before? You think of like Ron Duguay and Sarah Palin. I mean, they travel. They have to send the cosmetics ahead of time.
Yeah. Do they have fist fights over the Dyson hair dryer?
Now, then, if I was with that black model, her and I would like if we want to go someplace. Let's get, honey, let's go. We're packed.
Cool looking. Yeah,
we're gone. Oh God, that takes some.
Yeah, Doogie and Sarah. That would be like that's a problem.
See, we haven't heard much of it. Oh, here's the topic. We touched on this in a text back and forth during the weekend. So we all know they have cloud seeding, which is a patented process which has been used since the 40s. That's not a debate. It's not some conspiracy theorist. So now here in the Northeast, it's gone like a month and a half without any measurable rain, although we had a little bit last night. And then now we have all these forest fires. So you and I, the thoughtful people that we are saying, okay, so why don't they just seed the clouds?
It's a great question. I don't know if you need a particular type of cloud because we really have not had many cumulus clouds, the big puffy. I think those are the kind they use, but yeah, it does beg the question for sure.
Right.
It's pretty scary. So not too far from me is that West Milford fire, which is 3,000 acres already. And the other day I sent you a picture where it's a beautiful day, and then it looked cloudy over there. Those weren't clouds. It was all smoke from the fires. Yeah.
Because you think, like in Dubai, a few months ago, they had flooding because they overseeded. I said, okay, so why don't you just go seed the clouds? We know you can do it. Just go seed the clouds.
Yeah, it does beg the question for sure. Yeah. But it's pretty bad, and tomorrow's supposed to be really windy again.
Yeah, I know, right?
Which is not good. Yeah.
Okay, so let's dig into this. So they didn't see the clouds, so they want the forest fires. Usually that means they're trying to divert our attention from something else, right?
As always. Right. Because Johnny Corbicella and I went for a hike Friday morning.
Who's that speaking?
The phone. Somebody. It's a business call for Ben. Remember Johnny Corbicella?
Yeah.
So we went for a hike, and where you've probably seen photos of Bill and I by a waterfall that was completely dry.
That was a very romantic picture. That's a romantic picture.
Between Bill and I, yeah, right. we were all cuddled up under the water.
Really?
It was
like he didn't propose. He didn't propose to you like that, did he?
I thought he was gonna. I was kind of getting choked up a little bit there.
Oh, he's good guys. Obviously, we're joking around about retired Navy SEAL William Brown, who I say these things jokingly when I'm a long way away from him. I don't know if I'd say it. I think it may have been the first time I met him. No, it wasn't the first time I met him in person, but we'd gone shooting that one time. Mm-hmm. And so here's this Navy SEAL, right? And of course, he'll wear whatever he wants to wear. Like, who's going to give him a hard time? So he showed up with these red sneakers on.
Yeah.
And I was being a smart ass, and I thought to myself, and I was doing it kind of behind his back, and I thought, I want to say it to him in person, but I don't know if I should or not.
The good thing is you can. Bill's got he's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, because he gives it to me too. So he's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, when we get together for whatever it is to go for a hike or go whatever, it's pretty much locker room, high school again.
Yeah. Well, I'll give an example for everybody. Verifying Google. Oh, okay. So I'll give you an example. I think you and Bill and that's awful. Who's lost his fingers?
Brad.
You guys rode for a walk. I think it's my birthday, last birthday or something. So you're very nice. You sent a video or you did a whatever, saying happy birthday. Very thoughtful. Yeah. And Bill gets on and he's very serious at third. And he goes, "I'm sorry." And I'm thinking, what's he sorry for? He says, "I'm sorry you've got such a small penis."
Yeah.
It was just like the whole, because everybody else is being sincere in the whole.
Yeah. He set you up a little bit there.
Yeah. That's cool.
Bait and switch.
Yeah. So we got, what else is going on in the world that I wanted to touch base with you?
Well, let's see. We got politics, Jets, Giants, Rangers. We didn't talk about.
So Veterans Day parade today in the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group of Columbia students that are going to do a protest, making it more like Martyrs Day. They want it to be Martyrs Day for people that have died in
Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I mean,
And this is, I'm going to make, and I'm not trying to be critical here. I participated in both the Veterans Day parade and the Gay Pride parade. Mm-hmm. And the Gay Pride parade, listen, it's fantastic. Those people, this city's packed with people. And I really mean it when I say this. You can tell the people in that community, that is a very important day for them. But in comparison, when you go to the Veterans Day parade, it's like maybe a 20th of the people. Like there's people there, but it's not. And I don't know what kind of statement I'm trying to make with that, because it's, again, both of you, it's great that they have the Gay Pride Parade and they have such a turnout. Mm-hmm. I wish we had more of an emphasis on the veterans, but.
Yeah, well, what, I guess they're unfortunately taken for granted, not by everybody, but by some.
Yeah.
And then there's some that just don't like the military.
I know, it's not true. Like, it's just like younger people that don't understand the sacrifice.
Yeah. Well, there's a video going around, and I'm not picking on the younger generation. We've created this in many ways, right? But a guy walks into Home Depot, and there's like 4 or 5 younger kids there, like college-age kids working. Yeah, where can I find a left-handed hammers? And you know what they're doing? They're all looking at their phone, going like trying to find on the Home Depot site where the left-handed hammers are, so they can tell them what aisle. And when you see that, you just go, boy, we've really our education process isn't quite what it used to be.
I know it is true, right? Because we took shop classes, and so we grew up with a hammer on. It's the same thing when they have the group of kids, and this is really unfair to them. They give them a rotary phone, and they give them like 10 minutes. They don't give them any instructions. Okay, dial the rotary phone, and they have no clue. And I guess I'd probably be the same way if I didn't grow up with it.
Well, they're not at fault. We did this to them, really. But I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, I know how your dad was. I know how my dad was. It's probably very similar in many ways. And I was guilty of being the kid that, like, my father would be showing me how to like fix the carburetor on a lawnmower, and I'd be standing there going, "I really want a cookie." This is what I'm thinking in my head. You know?
And you know what I was bad at too? I think you touched on it too. With my two sons, I always cut my own lawn and everything. I probably didn't give them enough of an opportunity for them to do it.
Yeah.
Right. I said, no, I'll do it. You know, it's my job to do it. And I probably should have made them do it more so they could learn how to do it.
Yeah. You know, Sean was in college and he called me at a flat tire. So, and it was like February, it was 9:00 at night. His dorm was up on a hill where there was no trees and the wind is howling. I said to him, I'm going to show you once how we do this. Right. And then I get there and the lug nuts were completely frozen on.
Oh,
I mean, I couldn't get him to budge. So, you know, like where he played hockey at Montclair. So I go down to the rink, went in a pro shop, got a torch, you know, bent on your twig. Even then, it took a lot. And I was, the further it went into it, the more I was like, should have known this. You should have known this already. But yeah. I would venture to say most young people, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say probably don't know how to change a tire.
No. Yeah. And it is one of those things. If you just grab the owner's manual, they actually guide you through it. But yeah, totally, that is true. I know. And that when I can't do something, I look back and I like just like you. That's interesting. You said that. I look back at with my father. If I just paid attention more to the things, oh God.
If I'd be able to do electric, I'd be able to do masonry a bit. You know, but no. I mean, I was too wrapped up in thinking I'm going to be a pitcher for the Mets one day.
I had a lamp that I had for years, really nice lamp, and it wouldn't light up anymore. So I looked at it. It's a simple thing. You can go to Home Depot and buy the lamp isn't really a big deal. The lamp is more the stand, and then there's a simple wire that goes down with a toggle switch turns on and off. So it's like a $2 piece from Home Depot. So I got online, got a YouTube, and figured out how to do it. It was the biggest day of my life. I figured out. I'm thinking like
same thing here. So this is years ago because my dad was still alive, but the dishwasher was leaking, right? So my dad goes, "Did you check the solenoid valve?" Dad, come on, man, what are you talking about? It's me. So he told me where it was, and that's where it was leaking. So I went on YouTube. I put in the model and make of the dishwasher solenoid, and they explain exactly how to change it out.
Oh.
And I bought it on Amazon for like $50. And 2 hours later, about 4 quarts of blood, I finally got it in there.
Right.
But I was like telling Beth, I'll have a dozen eggs, a pound of bacon, and a stack of flapjacks. Like I'm a man now, damn it.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Isn't that true?
So I was king of the house. You know what she said?
I know. Isn't that true? The man thing?
Yeah. When I told her I was king of the house, you know what she said? That's nice. King, take the garbage out. Yeah.
She would do that. She's a wonderful woman. She get sisters, Beth?
No, just a brother. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. The brother out in Long Island there, right?
Well, that's one of his books. Yeah.
Yes.
Lives here.
My oldest son, very proud of both my sons. The younger son works for, I know you are with your son as well, works for a commercial real estate company. And he's one of those guys, he loves to research. Like if he doesn't know it, he will find. So he's become that guy. Well, both of them are. That if somebody doesn't know something, they'll go do the research to find it out.
Cool.
They hate asking other people for opinions. Yeah. My older one started working for a hedge fund called Millennium. Mm-hmm. It's like a $66 billion hedge fund.
Wow.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yes. So Saturday, speaking of her brother's girlfriend, whatever, her daughter is a swimmer. And we went to a meet.
Oh.
And so the first event she did was the medley where you start off with breaststroke, then you do backstroke, and then you finish up freestyle. Mm-hmm. And you would appreciate it too. I'm not into swimming per se, but I do appreciate talent. She was in the car on a ride home before the other kids were making the last turnaround underwater. I mean, she won by a full pool length.
Oh.
And I said to Beth, look, that's pretty cool because I know this is more of like a lower level competition, because she's not doing it traveling all over the country. But I said, if you win by that much against anybody, it means when you're up, you're good.
Oh yeah,
like, there's a talent there. It was pretty impressive.
Did you ever date a swimmer?
I
dated a swimmer in college. Judy Cramond.
Swimmer, no.
Yeah, Cramond. Judy Cramond. She wanted to
she had a few that wanted to drown me, but it's different.
Yeah, I know. She always smelled like chlorine too, though.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
In the pool.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they spend what, like, if they're a competitive swimmer, they're in the pool
Right.
2 hours in the morning.
Right.
Every day.
She had designs on like us spending the rest of our lives together, though. Like she had it all planned out.
Yeah. Did she? Yeah. Well, I won't go there.
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
She was waiting. She wanted. That's part of it. Like, Tom, we're not doing anything. We can fool around, but we're not doing anything until we get the point. So you're going to be the which look back at now, I think, okay, I would have been her only. She would have been. That's it. Yeah. Didn't mean that much to me back then.
Times change.
Judy Crammond. I think back in some like. See, when I went to school in the Midwest, like the Midwest girls are whole different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's much more wholesome.
True.
Yeah. Wholesome. Yeah.
Which means forget it.
I know. Now you wish you were like still with these wholesome women from back then. Then when it's like anything else, right? You're a young guy. You're like, oh God.
Yeah. By the way, it came across my YouTube feed when you talking to Mick, when you were talking to Mick about Joey Koser.
Oh yeah.
And when he went to camp in Washington with Schofield.
Yeah.
Well, that was funny.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
He's a pretty funny guy, Mick.
Yeah, I didn't realize how funny he is. Yeah. He was on Spittin' Chicklets. And
that one I saw too,
yeah.
What was he talking about on that one? But it's pretty funny.
I tell you what, the Spittin' Chiclet guys, I give them a lot of credit. That's fantastic what they've done.
They really monetized and did well with it.
Yeah.
I mean, God bless him. What did he play, 100 games?
Yeah, and you know what? Apparently, I have never spoken to him, but they say, and actually, Vakota was saying this. He's a very humble guy. Mm-hmm. Like he talks all the time about how he's like he wasn't just a fifth liner, like he was a sixth liner. He was sitting in he'd sit in the end of the bench, and they'd have to wake him up at the end of the game and until the game's over with. But he's, to his credit, and you could tell like he really works at his craft. Like when he speaks, you can tell he speaks in a certain way. Now he's getting better and better. So
he was a tough kid. I mean, I watched him, in some of his fights. He hung in there. Pretty tough kid. Yeah,
he took on the heavyweights too. Yeah. Yes.
There's an early one that they did before they really hit it big, and they spent a few days up with Terry Ryan, Terry Ryan's father.
Yeah.
His father played at WHA.
Yep.
And I think he might have played with Bruce Boudreaux too, but it's hysterical, man. It's
really they're funny. Yeah, the Ryans are very funny. Terry Ryan's a funny guy. Yeah.
I mean, his dad was like a big Beatle fan. Like he'd go in the basement and they had he had like a gazillion albums.
Yep. And Terry has the Beatles tattoo as well.
Yeah.
Have you don't have any tattoos, right?
No.
Ever thought about getting a tattoo?
Yeah, I did. And it was when I was a kid. I was landscaping. I was like 19 or 20. And it was a dude that had like, the horse Pegasus on his shoulder.
Yeah. I
thought that was pretty cool. And I just never did. And then a few years, probably a while back, 10, 15 years ago, I was going to get Sean here with boxing gloves hanging. And then Ty here because he's an actor with the happy and sad face. And Beth said, how old are you? I go, yeah, you're right.
My sons, I always told them I was going to get a tattoo. So it's Shane and Cody, so Shayne. So I was going to get a tattoo that said Shay Code. And they said, Dad, if you do that, we'll never speak to you again. Like, don't ever.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, but so training Al, you've seen Al. I mean, he's covered. The guy, covered head to toe. He goes, next Saturday when we train, I can shadow box, but I'm getting a tattoo. I go, where are you getting a tattoo? Oh, you don't even show me. He's getting his palm done.
Oh.
I go, that's got to hurt. He goes, yeah, it's painful. And it's going to be swollen for like a week.
So what's the whole, and not that I'm against tattoos. Everybody does what they want to do. What like some people, obviously a nice small tattoo. Some people, their whole body is tattooed. Is it sending a message or is it a?
Well, I think for some people it's body art. They really look at it like, you've probably seen some of the Asian fighters will have like a tiger on their back. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. I mean, but I think it's art. I think it's like, maybe it becomes a little addictive when you get one, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going. And, but like Al even said, he goes, it does attract the human eye immediately.
Well, that's what I wonder. Is it, and again, if you want to do it, with women, for example, I mean, do they, and maybe they want it. It's the attention grabbing thing. Like you're drawn to looking at the tattoo.
Sure.
Then you're looking at the woman too. Yeah.
And if that's what you want. I don't know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But there's some that you go,
I know.
I want to redo that one.
Yeah. like I'm just not a tattoo guy. I was gonna get one of my penis.
Mhm.
It was gonna say Weekend when it was expanded.
Weekend.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. It's I mean, you're when we were younger, if you had a tattoo, it meant one of three things: you were a biker, you were incarcerated, or you were in the military. Like nobody else had tattoos.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Has become so. The if you ever see like the Peanut guy Mark Longo, who I coached, his wife, she's a tattoo model.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she's got tattoos right up. I don't think she's got any in her face, but I think her whole body's tattooed.
Yeah,
beautiful girl too. It's just she's got tattoos. German girl.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's in the whole OnlyFans thing, which
I read he made $800,000 their first month.
No, he made 150 grand the first month he started, but on a regular basis now they make $800,000 a year, a month. Excuse me,
a month.
Yeah. Now, they don't, to my understanding, they don't get involved with any of their fans on a physical basis. It's all people wanting to see a lot of, like he tells me some of the stuff, like somebody will want, a man will want a pair of his soiled underwear. So he'll send this, and people will spend thousands of dollars for the soiled underwear. It's just,
I got plenty of them. I mean, I should start.
know.
How do we set up a website?
I did have a woman contact me.
People are crazy, man. People are absolutely nuts.
Oh yeah.
I mean, to each their own, but.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So when it wasn't extended, it just said "we." Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
My penis just "we." That's good.
So. Years ago, Driver and I had this junior A team in training camp. And we had kids from all over Canada.
So people who don't know, just around Bruce Driver used to play for the Devils. He and Mark
and the Rangers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So anyway, one of the guys comes up and goes, "You got to go in the locker room." I go, "What's that problem?" He goes, "No, you got to see this kid." I go, "What?" "Just go in." So we had two goaltenders. They were both really good. And this kid was from out west somewhere. Anyway, he had it pierced.
His penis?
Yeah, and I had never seen anything like that. I hope to never see it again. The only thing I think it would help is like if in survival, if you don't have any fishing lures, right? You just swim naked, face down.
Oh, so people that don't, okay. So the only reason I think this is so funny, I'm sure Mark's the same way with this young guy. When you coach a young guy, or we'll stick to guys, and then you find out later on that he's got this 2-foot long penis. Yeah. It's like, you see these cute little kids skating around the rink.
Yeah, right.
So the Peanut guy, Mark Longo, who lost his squirrel when the government came in and took him and euthanized him. Months ago, he had the squirrel for many years, and he was a huge follower. I think like millions of people online were following him with the squirrel. And then he and his wife his girlfriend at the time got into the whole OnlyFans thing. And he would post a lot of naked pictures and very graphic pictures. And so I didn't know about this. My sons sent it to me. They saw it and sent it to me. And we're dying laughing, like not in a laughing at him way. We're more like realizing this guy's making a fortune with his penis. And so I called him up and he knew he was dying laughing before I even said a word. And because, in the whole relationship, me being his coach, and he was a good kid, we got along well. And I got a phone. I says, "Where the hell did you get that?" And he's dying laughing. He was telling me though, like as a kid, he was very self-conscious because he thought there was something wrong with him. Mm-hmm. And I said, "You kidding me? Every guy on the planet is jealous of you." So.
When Sean played at Montclair State University here, there was a kid. I won't say his name, obviously, but he was pretty. He was a skinny little, like he was a really talented kid.
Right.
But every game we had to stick him back together with bubblegum and tape because he's just that toe drag and kid. But anyway, really talented guy, and apparently he was like 18 inches or something crazy like that.
Right.
And the coaching staff, which was I had a lot of fun there. It was great coaching staff, good guys. And Frank Barone was a Vietnam vet,
right.
And he had half a foot blown off, kind of like Rocky Blyer.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're in practice one day, and I just kind of got the sense the guys were really tight. I don't know, I might have had a bad weekend, we lost or something. And so I pulled everybody in, and I said, "Hey guys, what do Coach and I won't use his name. Coach Frank and I can use his name, Frank
Oh.
Barone. What was Coach Frank and Johnny have in common? And they're all looking at me. I said, they both have a foot and a half.
That's good.
Yeah, and it broke it up. We had a good practice.
Yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
We had a kid on our team too. Really funny kid, and I knew him well, so I felt like he was a kid I could kind of use for this joke. And our other coach, the assistant coach, was a very straight-laced guy, great guy, totally dedicated, but no off-color humor whatsoever. And so we're in the pregame meeting, and I'm giving the pregame speech, all the things you got to do. And I said, all right, guys, I want your shifts to be short and hard. And the other kid, I won't use his real name, they say Billy. I said, it's just like Billy's penis. And it was so, I never spoke like that to the kids before. And I thought, okay, I'll do it this one time. And the reaction, because you say it, and just your joke there, it's like, you can't believe that somebody said that to us. So.
Yeah, there's certain words, like anytime, whatever it is, like if we're, kids and we're going to, like say dryland training, and use tennis balls, and say, hey, guys, grab your balls, let's move over here now. And that's all you got to say. Everybody gets
The other one's Bangkok too. Like, let's go to Bangkok.
Yeah, that's the capital of Thailand.
Oh, that's the funny thing. That's the great thing about coaching too. Like, you got a good bunch of kids that like, and you're the same way. As
yeah, I mean, I love coaching. I love, but it's a big commitment.
Oh, and when you get away from it for a while, you forget about the commitments. Then you say, okay, I'll do it again. And then you're in the middle of it. Oh, God.
Yeah, I want you, when you're 20 games in, why did I do this?
Yeah. Who's your, like, if you would put, I know Beth's the most beautiful woman in the world to you, so set that aside. Mm-hmm. Of all the other, like, actresses or movie stars, models, singers, who would be the most beautiful woman other than Beth in your mind?
I mean, over the years, there's a whole bunch, but I mean, I could think of for long-term beauty and just classic Sophia Loren.
Huh.
And then more recently, I mean, Charlize Theron, put her politics aside, she's a very pretty lady.
Yes, she is. Yes, yeah. The reason I asked is a girl on Yellowstone. She plays Monica. The Native American one. Mm-hmm. Good Lord. Yeah. She's got that thing where it's just like, she's sweet too. Like it's, oh my God.
Careful, though. She'll give you some peyote.
Apparently, she's not even Native American, though. She's something else. But she's got that, she's got that Native American look.
Yeah,
I think it's now I'm totally into Yellowstone now. I was gonna wear the cowboy hat today.
Natives, like Gino Ochuk came in like early morning. I'm like, he was in an air cast and didn't have his teeth in. He was like dressed like a bum almost. And he was asking for Sandy McCarthy. And I said, the guys will be here later. I thought he worked at the garden, like maintenance or something. I didn't recognize him at first. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I went, oh, man. So morning skate, he doesn't take the morning skate, right? And then go out for the game, and he's dressed. He's going on. I looked at Dale Purinton. I go, he goes, Mark, you don't understand. They don't want to put him back on the IR. He heard he was going on the IR, and he got nervous. Indian reservation.
Oh, oh, that's funny. That's funny stuff. Oh God.
Yeah, Dale was he's a funny. Yeah. I still talk to him. He's a funny kid. Yeah.
So you think about it's funny watching these shows, and they really get into that, like Yellowstone. Yellowstone really gets back into the history too. They flash back. Some Native Americans, obviously, as you know, they were here long before we were, but they were forced to go into reservation.
Pretty cruel what we did to them.
Well, yeah, and we kind of forget that whole thing, right? Like, especially like I'm a big John Wayne fan, so in most John Wayne movies, it's portrayed that the Indians are the alcoholics, the bad guys, killing people, and John Wayne's coming in to save the day. Where the reality is, well, no, it's
it's a pretty tragic history what we've done to the Native Americans, and even Canada, and it's created a problem in Canada where there were supposedly some schools where they buried a bunch of kids. Turned out it did not happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it did not happen. And they're
I thought this was a given that they knew.
No, they did some research on it and found out it did not happen. It was one school in particular. They said they had like 200 some odd kids buried, and it just wasn't true. And there was some Catholic some burning of some churches up in Canada in response to that story. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. See, I remember following that story, and I thought it was just a guaranteed fact that it happened. Wow, interesting.
I mean, but it's not to say that there was a lot of atrocities that occurred. you know, because I know here in the States they tried to kind of Americanize the native kids. They set up schools that would prevent them from having any connection to the Native American history and culture, traditions, and try to make them American. And it didn't work out very well.
Right. Yeah, like the actual, like I think the Eastern philosophy, like China and all that kind of stuff, and Native Americans. There's a lot of fantastic stuff, like the spiritual part of it and everything.
Yeah. If you go on YouTube or on the internet, just research the Shaolin monks, the temples. It's really amazing what they do, and they've been doing this for centuries. Excuse me. And I think that's one of the things that most Americans don't have, that spiritual connection.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of Asian culture, Native American culture.
Right. Yeah. They had, like in Yellowstone, they showed where this Monica and her husband had a son, Tate, and they took him back to be closer to her upbringing. And he went in to the sweatbox. So they had teepee and they had charcoals, whatever it is. So they smoke box, they call it. So it's a teepee. They closed the door on it, and they would sit in there for a certain period of time. And it really, supposedly, the theory was they connected more to their spirituality by being in there.
Yeah, there's a couple guys I know have done that.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple hockey players that I'm trying to remember who, but they've done it in Canada.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
See, I'd like to do more of that stuff. Like that whole, what is it they do now? It's become a popular thing. So they use all the
psilocybin.
The
mushrooms, you mean?
Yeah, but what's the process that there's a whole, like they do this, they go out, like they'll go down to Colombia and this kind of stuff, and they'll go to.
Yeah, I mean, there's different in Mexico, Colombia. I met a guy.
Your spirit god.
I think I just got whacked by the spirits. Hold on 1 second.
What's the term? There's a term though, and I'm trying to think what it is. It's awful.
It'll come to you when you stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I met a guy when we were out in Utah who's got a place down in South America where he does this. He brings everybody in. Marcus Capone, who's a SEAL, retired SEAL. He brings a lot of guys with PTSD and stuff down to, and TBIs down to Mexico. And he does it more in a clinical setting. They actually do administer the, whatever, the Ayahuasca or whatever there. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff that comes through that. And I think 30 for 30 did a special, another place where they used the mushrooms, and it was Ryan Cote.
Yeah,
a couple of football players, I think, that had some CTE symptoms. Yeah.
Oh, what is that? Drives me nuts. Okay, but I'll, like you said, I'll figure it out later on.
Yeah, when you stop thinking about it.
Yeah. What's going on this weekend? Anything exciting happening in the world of
this week? Not just routine work week. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. I think not next week, the following week. It's crazy, man.
What do you do? Do you go out and see with your brother-in-law? Or?
Yeah, we always, generally speaking, we go to his house and we have dinner.
I know we've covered this. Are you a turkey, gravy, stuffing?
Just for that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've really cleaned up. So what I do is now, if I'm eating chicken with bones or leftover vegetables, I put them all in the bag. I put them in the freezer, and then once that bag's filled up, I put them in a pot with water, and that makes my broth.
Yeah.
I then take the vegetables and obviously take the bones out, and I blend that all up, and I keep that. So when I go to make my Sophie, that's good. She's good. Yeah. So when I go to make my gravy and everything, I pour that in the bottom of the pan. So it's all vegetables. So now you got to season it up a little bit like that. And then with my stuffing, when I make my sourdough bread, whatever I've got left over, I cube that up. It's okay. She's good. I cube that up, and then I'll bake it a little bit to make it a little crispier, and then put it just a little bit in the food processor. So that becomes my stuffing. So it's sourdough stuffing, vegetable gravy. So, I mean, there's obviously the turkey drippings in it like that too. But
now, when it comes to stuffing, I like it like kind of well done.
Well done.
You know, the well done, like the top part. Yeah.
Now, do you still actually stuff the turkey, or is it dressing?
Yeah. I think,
okay.
Yeah.
Because they're saying a lot of people don't stuff the turkey anymore, right? They call it dressing, and they don't stuff the turkey.
Beth will make the stuffing, and then it gets stuffed into the turkey. Yeah.
Oh, those pieces that are kind of hanging out on the side once you cooked it too and crisp. Oh, nice.
It's got a lot of flavor.
Now, okay, so once you have your turkey dinner, will you come
Mhm.
back later on like with an open face turkey sandwich?
No, so the reason is hold on.
It's okay. It's okay.
You know, so the problem is
getting-
I'm raised by an Italian mother. I talk with my hands.
Yeah.
No, because we generally speak pretty late dinner on
Oh.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Okay. But then you got to take leftovers with you when you go home, right?
Oh yeah.
Now, will you have an open face turkey sandwich or just the turkey?
Just
No
the
bread?
turkey. Yeah. 'Cause I don't do bread. So
How about pies or anything like that? Any raspberry pies, apple pies?
yeah, we usually have pumpkin pie and then apple pie.
Ooh, I make a mean apple pie. Oh,
Do you? Yeah.
oh yeah. I make the whole
My favorite.
I make the shell and everything. Oh,
Yeah. From scratch.
yeah.
I'm gonna try to make my own mayonnaise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm tired. It's like $10 a thing now.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it's three eggs and vinegar, and I think that's pretty much it. Some olive oil. Mix it up.
Put it in a Mercer or what do you call those?
Well, I have a Vitamix, that really good mixer. Yeah.
Cool.
You can make soup with that thing. And I
That's
made,
cool. That's interesting. I pretty much got the nailed down where it's all homemade. So if I make any kind of a dip for chips or whatever, it'll be, I'll make my own dip, like get sour cream or whatever.
it really guarantees there's no chemicals and crap in there. Yeah.
The shrimp cocktail is basically the same mix as my ketchup, add a little horseradish to it, whatever. Ooh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I love horseradish, and it's very healthy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you, when you do your smoothie, you have a smoothie in the morning, correct?
Mhm. No,
Do you
I
add-
don't. Yeah, no,
No, you don't.
no.
So do you take any extra protein or is it just your foods?
Every once in a while, but very rarely. Yeah, I mean, I have 3 eggs in the morning. So it's not a lot of protein. I think that's only like 18 grams. But then I'll have a turkey sandwich without the bread, and that's more. And then dinners. Yeah, so.
How many grams of protein do you think you should have?
Well, it depends. The old standard was a gram and a half per pound of body weight. If you're training, if you're training really heavy weight, like resistance work, resistance work, I tend to think if you're about a gram per pound of body weight, you're in a good spot. Yeah.
Sure. And like you said, if you, like for me, it's a lot of salmon and stuff for me.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's red meat primarily now and fish for me and eggs. That's my protein sources.
You're not a salmon guy, not a fish guy, really?
Oh yeah, I said so. Red meat, fish, and so the salmon once or twice a week, and then Tuesday nights because the fish comes in on Tuesday. I make halibut.
The fish swim on Tuesday. They don't swim.
They swim right up to my front door. Yeah.
just on Tuesday. Though. Oh, we got to stop by Mark's. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, but that's easy too because halibut's 8 minutes in the broiler, so it's great. Like when you just want to get dinner done. Yeah.
So we've got a mystery person here. Who is Nice Spirit? Thank you very much. Who's Facebook user? Is this somebody new? Or is
Yeah, it's someone new, unless the thing's not working.
Facebook user.
Identify yourself.
That's a kind of a unique name, right? Like user. That's like a Japanese name or no, Lebanese user.
Yeah.
User. Yes. All right, brother. So did we solve any world problems today or we just clarified?
Yeah, just pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
We got our biggest problems are football.
Right.
And I'm still not really completely convinced the Rangers have the lineup I'd like to see.
Yeah, and that's the big question. Like talent-wise with the Rangers, there's no question there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting on Tuesday night because Winnipeg has got the best record in the league. They're a big, strong team, hard to play against. And the Rangers are really it's going to be a test for them to see, okay, where do we sit? I mean, you can't determine on one game, but yeah.
Well, it'll be telling because they've not done well against the big heavy teams. Florida, Washington's pretty heavy now, and they're playing really.
They really
well.
are, yeah.
As much as people hate him, I'd love to see Tom Wilson in a New York Ranger uniform.
Oh yeah, totally.
He can play too. He's not a bad player.
I'd love to see it. Like anybody in the league would love to have a Tom.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. That's a layup, I guess. But they just need a little bit more sandpaper. And
I would love to see a kid like to me, Keandre Miller. Skill wise, just incredible. You'd really love to get to him and just like, and I don't know him even, so maybe he just doesn't have it in him. But he doesn't seem to have that real,
Here's my question. So I'm gonna assume when you started youth hockey, you started off on playing defense, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So it's in your DNA.
Yep.
He didn't start playing defense till college, and that's it's a whole
It's a mindset. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole different. It's hard to explain to people. It's a whole different world. There's been some guys that have played both. Ron Greshner did that, played back and forth. But it's a really tough transition to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you think the game totally differently.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, your priorities are much different. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be, because forwards should work just as hard in their own end. But I mean, we all know it's just natural. That,
Do you ever look in the mirror in the morning and say something to yourself?
yeah. Can they change this picture?
Stop. It's not right. I've been teaching kids more and more to look in the mirror and tell themselves how great they are.
Well,
So
there is proof. Years ago when I was in inside sales, they put a mirror. They say when you're smiling, people on the other end of the phone can pick that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
It was funny because I was doing a podcast one time with Kevin Allen, and we had Doc Elliott. Who's
Doc
the
Gooden, baseball player.
the play-by-play guy, Doc
Doc Emmerich.
Emmerich. He just retired. He's starting his book,
Mhm.
and we're doing the podcast. And I love him, So I was smiling away. I don't, you're the same way. You don't realize what you're doing. And he stops and he goes, "Do you ever stop smiling?"
Yeah.
And it is. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
It was a pretty cool dude, Darren Pang.
yes.
Does he still do color?
Not as much.
Mhm.
And I don't know if he's with one specific team, but yeah, he's got a good personality.
Yeah, he's cool. He's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah. A lot of those guys are good. They get good personalities. Kelly Rudy's good. Yeah, definitely. All right, brother. You have a fantastic week out there. To
And
everybody.
happy Veterans Day to all
That's right,
men and
too.
women who serve
Yep.
our country.
And again, the parade down the city today. Everybody, please be safe. And again, I'll be at the Rangers game tomorrow night. They have military appreciation night, so hopefully I'll see some people down there too. So,
Awesome. Good
everybody have a
stuff.
great week.